So being Haitian is not for the weak. I could only speak for myself, but the things that my family and I have seen and experienced growing up was insane. I'm talking about like witchcraft, people turning into animals. Let me just give y'all one story.
In Haiti and morgues, if the people are considered dead but they're not really dead and they wake back up, the people who work at the morgue will kill the people again. Let's get into it.
Everyone asking, where's the grandma? Where's the grandma? No, Shay, that woman is dead and gone.
Please, please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all pay. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just
Being Haitian is not for the weak. Now, after these stories, you will understand. Hey, y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny, and these are some stories coming straight from Haiti, and some happened here in America. Let's get into some spooky Haitian story time. Voodoo, witchcraft, unaliving, children. There's a whole lot. A whole lot. Let's get into it. Spooky morgues. Come on.
So being Haitian is not for the weak. I could only speak for myself, but the things that my family and I have seen and experienced growing up was insane. I'm talking about like witchcraft, people turning into animals. Let me just give y'all one story. I tell this story to like a few of my close friends and they're just kind of like, nigga, what are you talking about? Since the world is waking up now and the veil is being lifted, I could say this confidently. My older sister, she could even attest to this. There was a raccoon that popped up in her room. How? 4 a.m. screaming. My dad gets up. There's a big ass raccoon in my sister's room. My dad pops it in its left eye, shoos it out the house, grabs a broom, sweeps that bitch out the house. This is in Florida, mind you. And the next morning, our next door neighbor, the grandmother, came and asked my dad to pray for her. Her left eye was popped. Exactly where my dad popped that eye on the raccoon. Why did you show up to my house? My dad's house, asking for prayer. Bitch, you know what you did last night? And my mom would always be like, don't eat at her house. If she asks you to eat, don't eat. Every time we'd come over, she would be trying to force us to eat. You need to eat, you need to eat. No, bitch, we're not eating. We're not hungry, actually. All right, so being Haitian is not for the weak, part 2. Same location, West Palm Beach, Florida, 561, where y'all at. My mom's taking me and my siblings to school in the morning like she always does, but this time she can't find her keys. We cannot find my mom's keys. We were looking high and low, left and right. We could not find this woman's keys. So we walked to school together in the morning time. We came home, same situation. We're still looking for the keys, can't find them until she knocks on our door, next door neighbor, the grandmother, confronting my parents talking about some, oh, nu te quite clé na devant kay moi. You guys left the keys in front of my house. Who left the keys in front of your house, ho? Who? She gives the keys back to my mom and dad with a stink attitude, talking about some, y'all left the keys in front of my house, da 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 da. My mom and dad were like, okay, that's weird. I guess this woman, because she knew my parents' schedule, she knew when my mom went to work, she knew when my dad went to work, she knew when we went to school, she knew when we'd go to church, she knew all of that stuff. After she gave the keys back to my mom, a lot of weird shit started happening in our house. There was one day we came back from church. We come home to a bunch of water everywhere. We open the door and water is falling all over the place. In Florida, there's tile floors. Water is everywhere. My mom and dad's bathroom, our bathroom, the kitchen, every single thing that had a faucet and water, there was water flowing from it. My mom and dad turned everything off and we're helping them sweep. They grabbed the broom, they're sweeping all this water out the house. It was insane. Another time we come home from church, there's fire ants everywhere. How are these ants all over the house? Ants everywhere. Another time we came home, spiders, a bunch of spiders, a big ass spider. We stepped on it, baby spiders came out scrambling all over the floor. It was insane. Another time, roaches. It was just weird stuff kept happening back to back to back. So one day, My dad told us he comes home from church early because he left his Bible. So he comes inside the house and he hears footsteps all over the place, and he quickly hears someone running out the house and slamming the door. And when he walks in his room, he's just like, what in the hell? That's when we started putting two and two together, and we realized this bitch made a copy of our keys, and this bitch started doing weird shit. After that, my mom, she even told me we had fruit trees, we had a lemon tree, we had avocado tree. Like, it gave fruitful. It gave fruitful, bitch. Anyways, my mom, huge gardener, loved to garden. She was digging up the dirt and she seen human bones. Human bones planted underneath our house. Like human bones, like an actual bone in the ground, in the dirt. Everyone asking, where's the grandma? Where's the grandma? No, Shay, that woman is dead and gone. God is so good. Should I let the chopper sing on this next one? Cause it's literally too close to home. Fuck it. Alright, so for this next one, I'm gonna need y'all to really tune in. I have to give you the backstory so y'all could understand what I'm talking about. Alright? Alright, cool. So, in Florida, there was a grandmother, and she had two grandkids. She had a granddaughter and a grandson. They were both young, little kids. They were around me and my siblings' age. So, older sister, younger brother. Cool. All of that stuff happened. It was a whole lot of stuff that happened while we were in that house. And my mom, being a praying warrior of a woman, she prayed and prayed, and she was like, God, it's time for us to move. We need a new place, a bigger place. You know what I mean? But I don't know where. So in 2004, God showed my mom a dream of the house that she prayed and asked him for. She was very specific. He showed her exactly what she prayed for. 3 stories, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. She was like, okay, God, this is nice, but this don't look like a house in Florida. Boom. She prayed again. God showed her another dream. She was in a car. It was raining outside. As soon as she gets out the car, she remembered stepping into red dirt. And she was still like, okay, God, what does this mean? In 2005, my mom and dad's close friends, they hit my parents up. They're like, yo, we know that y'all in the process of looking for some houses just like us. We're actually looking for some houses in Georgia. Y'all want to come with? My mom and dad were like, bet. So it was my mom, my dad, their close friends, and me and my sister. We drove to Georgia, and as we're getting closer to our destination, it was raining, and my mom, she was like having like a spiritual moment with God, like, what is going on? She was praying, and then we step outside. It was red dirt on the floor. My mom was like, okay. Mom and dad's close friends, they looked into a neighborhood, and they found their house. And then the real estate agent told my mom and dad, like, hey, there's one more house in this neighborhood. No one wants this house. There's only one house left on this side of the neighborhood. The second half of the neighborhood that was currently being built at the time. But the first subdivision, it was fully built. The only house that was not sold was the house that was for my mom and dad. So we find the house. And when we walk inside the house, my mom is praying in tongues with the real estate agent, all that stuff. And the real estate agent looking at my mom like, what is going on? My mom knew where the bedroom was. My mom knew where the bathroom was. My mom knew where the basement was. My mom knew where everything was. The real estate agent, if her mouth was on the floor, if his mouth was on the floor, it would have been on the floor. Because it's like, what do you mean you know what this house looks like? How do you know where everything is? This house just got built. But my mom had a dream about this house before it was even built. God is so good. So boom, 2006 hit to February, and we finally moved from Florida to Georgia. And as we're settling in, our next door neighbors, they greeted us like, oh my gosh, hey, nice to meet y'all. And, they were Haitian. And they had a daughter, they had a son that was around the same age group as us, and they had a grandmother too. Yeah, exactly. I love that song too. So the neighbors, the Haitian neighbors, right? I'm not coming for the kids, but the parents I'm definitely coming for because y'all was dead ass wrong. As a young little jit, I used to come through all the time to play video games with their son. Me and their son were locked in, still love him to this day, but you know what? Because of all this shit, I just had to move accordingly. It's no shade, it's no beef, it's none of that. So, I want to say through middle school, 6th through 8th grade, when shit was really hitting the fan and I was really getting targeted and all this bullying and shit, they pulled me aside one day when I came through to play the game with their son. They're like, all right, this is what you're going through. This is what's happening. I was just like, how in the hell do y'all know? But you know, they started holding my hand throughout that process. They were putting me on game with energies and paying attention to your surroundings, being aware spiritually. They took the veil off of my eyes and I was seeing everything as a young little jig. I couldn't believe my eyes, but the shit was real. Mind you, this is happening before the whole spiritual wave. They came through when I needed them the most. Thank you to God for that. I digress. I remember this is one of the things. The mom, she told me that God told her that she wasn't supposed to go to a certain state. And she still went to that state. After a year and some change, she came back. She was a different woman. That was not the God-fearing woman that I knew. That woman was on her high spiritual witchcraft wave. She came through with some, oh yeah, I'm doing Reiki healing now. Let's do it. I'll do it for you and stuff. And around this time, my mom and dad and I have been arguing because they kept saying, stop going to their house, stop going to their house, stop going to their house. I didn't listen and I got what I was looking for. When your parents tell you to do something, a good 95% of the times when my mom told me to do something and I did not listen, they were right. So listen to your parents. So boom, I trusted them even though everything in my spirit was like, don't do it. I trusted her because of the person that she used to be, not the person who she is now. I didn't want to judge her. So I laid my ass down on that Reiki table. It's like a massage table with the cutout. Your face is going through it, laying down. She was hovering her hands over my back. I would literally feel like a weird vibration. I was just like, okay, this girl's working. She know what she doing, right? Nah, nigga. After that shit, my lower back was in pain for a good year. I don't have back problems. Throughout that time, every job I wanted, their daughter got. Every job I applied for and they said no, their daughter got. Every time when they gave me money, my bank account was empty. Every time when they were helping me and putting me on, it was literally setting my life back. It's no shade. And then I started having dreams of the mom doing witchcraft on me, of the dad doing all types of attacks to me. I was just so confused. When I see y'all, it's all love. When I go to sleep, y'all are doing horrendous things to me. What's tea for real? I didn't confront them, but I started to wake up. Definitely gave. The student was surpassing its teacher because the same shit that they were putting me on game with, I took that information and I started moving accordingly. It gave chess, not checkers. And the more I kept dodging their attacks, the more upset they were getting. So boom, there was one day I was painting the aunt's house, their aunt's house. I wasn't working at the time, but a nigga could do a lot of shit. All right, cool. They were like, all right, yeah, so you painted our daughter's room. Our aunt wants you to paint her bathroom. I said, okay. So I'm painting the aunt's bathroom. I felt a very weird, intense vibe in the house. I did not feel comfortable. But as I'm painting the bathroom, the grandma was like, oh yeah, while you paint the bathroom, go ahead and paint her bedroom, paint her whole entire room for me. No, please, no, thank you, no, nothing. I'm looking at you like, girl, you are not finna overwork me and underpay me. I ain't even want to do this shit for real. So when I got home from painting the first bathroom, I texted them. I was like, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. You don't even gotta pay me. I don't even want the money for real. I'm just done. I don't want to paint the house anymore. When I tell you, my first time saying no to them, being their neighbors for over 15 plus years, they get the grandmother to call me and convince me, their daughter to call me and convince me. They get their aunt, the one that I was painting the house for. Aunt's talking about some, oh, I just don't understand. You think that we're trying to overwork you and underpay you? I make this amount of money. I would never do something like that. Okay, if that was the case, then why didn't you say, okay, yeah, go ahead and paint the other rooms and we'll pay you however much you just said, go ahead and do it for me, thinking that I was going to do 3 for 1. No, baby, it didn't give that. So I'm saying no. Because I said no, the aunt was like, oh, well, I hope you know, I know this person, I know that person, and you could have worked with them. But if you don't want to, then that's bad business for you. I said, girl, bye. That's not the only thing that I can do. And I was doing you a favor. My life is depending on this. All right, cool. So mind you, this aunt is a good looking woman, got her money together. She's that girl. Tell me why after I said no, that same night, mind you, they send their daughter, it's like midnight, damn near 1 a.m. to text me and say, oh yeah, you know, we just came from Puerto Rico a week ago, but we got you a gift. You could come outside and get it. First thing in my spirit was like, this shit don't feel right. Something's not right about this. I digress. I prayed before I went. I applied the blood of Jesus over me. I had my prayer oil. You know what I mean? I'm not playing that. I go outside. It's dark, Full moon. It was a full moon. Clock that. It's dark. The trees are blowing. I open the door. I look to my left to my neighbor's house. The daughter's standing underneath the tree in the dark. She's already outside. As I'm walking up to this girl, oh my gosh, yeah, so we got you this thing. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. All right, bye. Gotta go. Runs inside the house. Bitch, I am not slow. I'm not calling the daughter a bitch, but love you, girl. Yeah, so I open up the gift and it's like a shot glass, but it was wrapped up in this weird brown paper. I unwrap it and it's a shot glass. It says Puerto Rico on it. It has a little toucan bird on it, whatever. I got the darkest, heaviest, demonic vibe from that shit. You know what I did? I walked right behind their house where we put our trash cans. I threw that shit away in their trash can. I walked back into my house. I text the daughter, girl, thank you so much. Like, I love the gift. Tell your parents I said thank ya. Heart emoji, send. Chess, not checkers. I go to sleep. It's a new day. My mom tells me, Hannah, I had a weird dream about the grandmother. She was at the gas station missing the gas pump. And she's like, I was supposed to get him. I was supposed to get Hannah. Why didn't I get Hannah? My mom was just like, I thought that was weird. And I was like, oh, baby, let me tell you what happened last night. So I told her what happened last night. My mom, she was proud. She was like, oh my gosh, like, yes, that's exactly how you do it. So we pray again some more, and my mom did that prayer. Whatever they are doing to my son, send it back to the sender. 3 weeks later, I get the news that that perfectly fine aunt passed away. So with all the crazy stuff that was going on with them, I recall having so many dreams of me getting scratched by demons. I had shackles on my feet, literally, not the ones so I could dance. But in those dreams, like, I literally felt, back then, I felt like it was given psychosis, was trying to go about my everyday life. I was not tapped in with God. I was not praying like I should have been. I was just living my life frivolously. But I had praying parents. Like, I'm laughing and stuff, but like this stuff is real. But truly, when you know you're a good person, you know you never done anything bad to people, and then you're going out in public and your sister and your mom, they're literally like, why are your ankles dark? Like, literally in the dream, when I had the anchor on my feet, I didn't recognize it. They're fine now. Like, everything's fine now. But like around where my ankles were, it was literally like it looked like a dark band that was surrounding my ankle. It felt like I was going crazy. I'm just so thankful to have my mind to still be alive. But like, this stuff is real. Like, it's really, really real. So I had some videos that it is what it is. All right, so part 5. My mom, she had her family members that came from the Biden administration from Haiti. She opened up her home to 6 additional people when she did not have the space to do that, but she did it anyways after I told her I don't think that was a good idea. She did it anyways because that's just the type of mom that, you know, I have. She was like, oh, my family, they would never. Okay. They were all cool. You know, all of them were cool. It was just that one of them was in that shit. He was working a 12-hour shift warehouse job. And mind you, when they came in, we took them to the doctor's office so they could get the blood work, paperwork, get their social securities, all of that stuff. And this was the things that we get. I was in the middle of a 30-day fast. And during that fast, while he was there, I went to sleep. I had a dream that I was in Haiti. I never been to Haiti before, but I just knew that I was in Haiti. It was 5 to 6 different people. They were all holding hands around this table. And on the table, I seen fruits, vegetables, raw meat, candles, incense burners, and a celebration cake, and more other things, saying things in a different language and French and Creole and all that stuff. And this lady who looked like my grandmother, but I knew it wasn't my grandmother, she was just trying to initiate me in their shit. And I respectfully declined multiple times until they held me down and tried to pour this dark, thick, nasty black liquid down my throat. As soon as it touched my tongue, I woke up. It's 3 a.m. And as I woke up, I see that the bedroom light from my cousin's door turns on at the same time I wake up. I pray, I'm rebuking the dream. My mom knocks on my door. She was just like, something doesn't feel right. Are you okay? I told her the dream. She's praying. And then after she finished praying, she was just like, I feel like that was probably my mom's mom. So my great grandmother, she felt like it had something to do with that. So as my mom and I are talking and getting to the bottom of this, my cousin has the audacity to open up the door and literally in detail explains the same exact dream that I had. He's telling my mom, oh yeah, I was there in the dream. I was just in the corner and I was watching and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work. It won't happen. They're not gonna take your son. Nigga, I'm looking at you sideways because like, come on now. After he tried doing that shit to me, he came for my sister. And if anyone knows my sister, she is a top tier. She knows. She will look at you and whatever's in you, you will feel very uncomfortable around her because she does not play that shit. It's not my story to explain the things that she went through. I'll leave that to her when she's ready to speak on it and when she releases that book. But just know that she's straight. She's good. I just thought it was funny because last night, my mom is talking to her sister in Haiti and my aunt is telling her, oh yeah, so my son, him, after he left my house, disrespected my mom and did her dirty, lied to her face, the whole 9 yards. He leaves, goes to Canada because he had a place to stay in Canada. My aunt is telling my mom that, yeah, he got kicked out of the place. He damn near lost his mind. He's running away from the police, homeless, no clothes, no shelter, no nothing. And honestly, a part of me felt bad, but the other half of me was just like, I mean, you got what you were looking for. You thought you were bigger than the program. You thought you were bigger than God's program. You thought you could come in this place after we open up our house to you, and this is the things that we get, and you thought God was not going to come for that ass. God put belt to ass. I can't make this up. Did I pray for him? Of course I did. But outside of that, God is going to do and handle people how he wants to handle people. So when people wonder why I go so hard for God, I go so hard for God because this is the outcome every single time. We always come out on top. When you are his child and you abide by his rules, when it says vengeance is not yours, it's the Lord's, he will put belt to ass to your enemies every single time. People would rather pay money to have someone deal with these curses and soul ties and all these whatever things rather than just humbling themselves, getting on their knees, repenting and just saying, all right, God, I need help. I need your help. I didn't know no better, but I need your help. Get rid of it just so they can have more strings attached to you. It's a lose-lose game. When you're depressed, they always say dancing battles that. What cancels out darkness? The light. And I've heard people saying there's good witches. A witch is a witch, whether they're doing good things for the community or not, because they are using necromancy that is not through God to get the work done rather than going to God to get the work done. No shade, read the book of Enoch. You will see all of it.
In Haiti and morgues, if the people are considered dead but they're not really dead and they wake back up, the people who work at the morgue will kill the people again. Let's get into it. So, this is very sad. This is a very sad story. I don't even know why I'm laughing. But when I was in Haiti, I heard this story. And it's not even like a story. It's like the town's gossip. It's not just a story that's made up. So this lady that lived in the town basically passed away. And in this morgue that she was put in that morgue, so you know, everywhere there's good people and there's bad people. In any job there's good people and there's bad people. So at that particular morgue, there's people that work at that morgue that are being paid under the table by the morgue owners. So a lot of morgues in Haiti are just like morgues here, but of course it's not as like big and all of that, right? But they're being paid under the table by the people who own the morgue, that if some people come, like their family members put them in the morgue and they thought that they were dead, because a lot of times people will be in a trance where they're basically zombified, right? So I don't know, somebody did something to them and turned them into a zombie, right? They look like they're dead. They'll get cold and all that stuff. Their heart will stop and everything, but they're not really dead, right? And there's things that you could do to bring those people back to life, but they're basically zombified. There's stories about people who have died and turned to zombies, and people use them as slaves and all that stuff, and then they find their way home. So in this particular morgue, the gossip in the town was that whenever somebody died or supposedly dead, the family thinks that they're dead. They bring them in the morgue. So basically the owner of the morgue is making this much money. They don't want the body to wake back up and then the family say, oh, well, I'm taking my family back because, you know, they didn't really die. So the thing was, this one lady passed away. We don't know exactly how she passed away, but it was something that had to do with voodoo. Somebody unalived her, probably because she had something that they wanted and they just thought it's their right to have it, and since they can't have it, they're going to unalive you. I don't know the situation, but it happens all the time in Haiti as well as here. You'll be very surprised. But in my opinion, well, not in my opinion. So the lady died, and her family put her in the morgue, and it was going to about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Because in Haiti, funerals, it takes forever. It could take like a whole month because the whole family need to get clothes made. It's a whole thing. So the people who own the morgues are basically collecting money this whole time because the body is in the morgue. So the rumor in the town was the lady actually woke up and she started asking for her family, and they didn't want to tell the family that the lady woke up. She was in the morgue for about 2 days. They kept her there. They gave her some food. Some of the people who work will give her food. They don't want to tell because she'll be in and out. So she'll be good, and then she'll fall back into a trend. She'll be as if she's dead again. So depending on who's on the shift, some people are like, they're so afraid to go and tell the family member, but the rumor has been spreading. The family still never heard anything about it, but what I heard was one of the people that was working at the morgue, who was getting paid good money by the morgue owner, basically took how do you call this, mato, damn, how do you call these things? I don't know, those things that you nail things with. Anyways, hit the person in the head. It's not funny. It hit the person in the head and really killed her. Actually really killed her. The lady was never dead. But because they didn't want to tell the family member about the person waking back up, they ended up killing the person again. So that person basically died twice. So if, for example, they were going to turn into a zombie, or they're going to turn them into an animal, whatever the case may be, because that's very true. If you're a Haitian, you will know. If you lived in Haiti, you know these things are real. But instead, I guess whoever did that kind of sort of helped her in a way, because when people turn you into these things, because they have an agenda for you, right? They have an agenda. People are going to bury you, and then at midnight the same day, they're going to come and do whatever ritual they need to do to raise your body up. That's the one thing that I know, that I've heard about, and I know people close to me that have told me stories like that. So in my opinion, this lady, I think whoever did that to her did her a favor, but then again, she could have been, I don't think she could have ever been restored back to the person that she was, because once you become a zombie, it's very hard for you to go back to how you were again, because technically you're not really human anymore. But yeah, so she unalived her, and then the family ended up burying her, they embalmed her and buried her, and the family had no idea that they actually did that, because of course they fixed her up real good. And at the morgue, a lot of times the family will go and they bathe their own family, but her family, I don't know how they ended up not going to bathe her to prepare her for a funeral and everything. Maybe the funeral home, the morgue probably told them something like, hey, this is a new service, we're offering you this for free. I don't know, but that lady was not dead. They ended up killing the lady with the hammer. They hit her in the head with the hammer and killed her for real. But before, she wasn't really dead. Let me know what you think about this story, whether or not you think that the person who actually killed her the second time was doing her a favor, based on what I told you about what they do to those type of people in Haiti, and or do you think they should have told the family about it, because the family still ended up paying the morgue for keeping their body, So I think they should have at least give them that service for free. But anyways, what do you think about it? Do you think they helped her, or do you think they should have called the family? Because at the end of the day, she would have never been the same person ever again, unless they do some real deep ritual, which the only way you could get rituals to reverse that is in Haiti. So yeah, or probably Africa, but most likely Haiti. So let me know what you guys think about this, whether or not they should have. Let me know what you think either way, right? Let me know, and let me know if I should bring more stories like this, creepy stories from Haiti that I have heard. That because in Haiti, what they do is we all always sit around in a circle. I actually have a book where I talk about all the stories that I used to hear while we sit in a little circle and campfire type stuff. And they will tell you stories at nighttime that literally will keep you up at night. You cannot go to sleep. But the thing is, when they start telling you the stories, you cannot move. You want to finish hearing the story, even though you know it's going to be torturous for you tonight to be able to sleep, because the stories are so scary. And a lot of time, the stories are real stories. They're not telling you just made up stories. These are real stories. And my family used to always tell us about like crazy stuff that happened within the town that we live. So yeah, and usually every single night I go to sleep, it's always something on top of the roof or something. But anyways, guys, let me know. Like I said, we're going to touch up some stuff on this book. So in this book is called Spell of Abundance, Love, Wealth, and Protection. So in this book, on the first page, actually, I have a glamour affirmation that you will basically say, you stand in front of the mirror and you stare at yourself and you admire yourself and you will say to yourself how beautiful you are. You'll basically seal this your beauty, like your glam, after you've done your makeup, or even stand in front of the mirror naked with nothing on, so you can really reaffirm yourself of your beauty, of your confidence and all that. This book is mainly for like self-confidence and self-elevation, you know, calling the goddess in you, calling the divinity in you, you know, calling the beauty in you. And also work with the moon, because the moon represents the woman, the mother, womb, water, all of this. So yeah, I have all the steps in here of all the spells that you need to do. It even has one for to get rid of unwanted guests. It's pretty funny. To get rid of unwanted guests. And this book right here, right? So I'm gonna run down real quick of all the materials that you're going to need. You will need a brand new broom. It has to be brand new. And you'll need a piece of parchment paper, a black pen, a black trash bag, because we're going to get rid of this sucker, right? And of course your intentions. And also I have spells on here that you can say. I have daily affirmations. And also I have spells on here that you can do every single day to work with the energy of the planets of the day, and also the archangels that work with the day. So anyways, there's so many spells. There's a 7-day manifestation spell with archangels. And let's see. A 30-day money spell with bay leaves and the Fihu sign, which is a money sign. It's like an F with the extra part. Anyways, the symbol's there, and I even show you like what you need to do, what the sigil look like, all that. And the keys to enhance your spell. So there are different things on here on how to enhance your spell and basically grow your finance, grow your love, self-love, self-admiration, chance to say to yourself to give you that extra energy to go about your day. And also tips to enhance your spell. Oh, I already said this. And morning coffee abundance prosperity spell. You guys remember I just shared a video about morning coffee and how important it is when it comes to hoodoo, and how you can basically use your first cup of coffee in the morning to manifest a better life or a better day, or to bring forth money to you. So don't let, you know, you're already doing these things anyway, so you might as well just incorporate something a little bit extra to basically boost your thing. And here's to influence your boss spell. So this one, I'm sure people who are actually working are going to love this. It's to influence your boss and attract favors towards you at work. Because look, in this economy, we're all working and we need some boost at work, and we also sometimes need to be tied to our job, so therefore you don't get fired. You know what I mean? So there's some stuff that you could do to basically tie yourself to your job, and or tie the job to you. And once you're done and you're all tired of that job, you can get rid of it. It's not something that's completely permanent, but use magic, guys. It's here for you to use. You have the herbs in your closet, you have the herbs in your pantry, you have the candles that you could just simply buy some candles super cheap. Use magic to elevate your life. Use magic to make yourself better. Let me tell you, Jesus was out here using magic, okay? Walking on water and stuff and turning water into wine. Sounds like magic to me. But anyways, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.